To help you keep track of how much you owe your suppliers and what you've bought, you can enter the purchase invoices you receive from your suppliers in Sage 1. To begin entering a purchase invoice, you need to go to the Purchases tab. Then click New Invoice. You can choose which supplier the invoice is from by clicking the down arrow. Or you can start typing their name and Sage 1 will start to narrow down the list of suppliers for you to select from. If you don't have a contact record for your supplier, you can create one by clicking the Add a Supplier button, then entering the relevant information and clicking Save. When you enter the invoice date, the due date will automatically calculate based on the credit terms for that particular supplier. If you haven't entered specific credit terms for the supplier, the due date will calculate based on the default credit days in your default settings. If required, enter a reference number. For example, this could be the invoice number. To record the sale of a specific product, in the Search for Product box, type the name of the item and choose the required item. If you haven't created any products, click the plus sign and enter the necessary information, then click Save. This will populate the fields on the next available invoice line. You can amend this information as required. You can add multiple products or services to the invoice by repeating this step. If you don't want to add a product to your invoice, then you'll need to enter the description of what you've bought, the ledger account you want to apply this purchase to, and the quantity of the items bought. If the invoice is for a service, the quantity should be 1. You also need to enter the unit price for the purchase and select the VAT rate applied to this sale. The VAT amount automatically calculates based on the unit price and the VAT rate entered. The gross total is the overall total for the line. If you've created analysis types, click on the double chevrons and choose the analysis type you want to allocate this purchase to. Or for goods and services that were purchased from a VAT-registered supplier in the EU, click the double chevrons and choose whether this item is goods and related services or a standalone service. You can then add any notes to the invoice. When you're happy with the invoice, click Save. You've now successfully created a purchase invoice in Sage 1.